My topic is product management and detail explain. Let's go to the topic and let's go to the start. Product management? Product management is an organizational function that guides every step of a product's life cycle, from development to positioning and pricing, by focusing on the product and its customers first and foremost. To build the best possible product, product managers advocate for customers within the organization and make sure the voice of the market is heard and heeded. Thanks to this focus on the customer, product teams routinely ship better designed and higher performing products. In tech, where entrenched products are quickly uprooted by newer and better solutions, there is more need than ever for an intimate understanding of customers and the ability to create tailored solutions for them. That's where product management comes in. A product roadmap is a plan of action for how a product or solution will evolve over time. Product owners use roadmaps to outline future product functionality and when new features will be released. When used in agile development, a roadmap provides crucial context for the team's everyday work and should be responsive to shifts in the competitive landscape. A product roadmap is essential to communicating how short-term efforts match long-term business goals. Understanding the role of a roadmap, and how to create a great one, is key for keeping everyone on your team headed in the same direction. A product roadmap is a shared source of truth that outlines the vision, direction, priorities, and progress of a product over time. It's a plan of action that aligns the organization around short and long-term goals for the product or project, and how they will be achieved. While it's common for the roadmap to show what you're building, it's just as important to show why. Items on the roadmap should be clearly linked to your product strategy, and your roadmap should be responsive to changes in customer feedback and the competitive landscape. Product owners use roadmaps to collaborate with their teams and build consensus on how a product will grow and shift over time. Agile teams turn to the roadmap to keep everyone on the same page and gain context for their everyday work and future direction. Product manager position at Atlassian. I didn't know what product management was. This wasn't unusual. While product management has existed in one form or another for a number of decades, the product manager title only started picking up steam less than 20 years ago. And still, I encounter talks at conferences called "What does a product manager?" Product manager? A product manager is the person who identifies the customer need and the larger business objectives that a product or feature will fulfill, articulates what success looks like for a product, and rallies a team to turn that vision into a reality. After 10 years of studying the craft of product management, I've developed a deep understanding of what it means to be a product manager. The confusion about what a product manager is likely stems from the recency of the role. Where practitioners of more established crafts, like design and engineering, have been able to segment themselves by their specialization, product managers are still defining what the role should be. Martin Erickson, product leader extraordinaire and founder of Product Tank, initially summed up product management in a simple Venn diagram that sits the product manager at the intersection of business, technology, and user experience. 15 years ago, Ben Horowitz, CEO of Opsware, called the product manager the CEO of the product. I agree with both Erickson and Horowitz, but not always with how their definitions are interpreted. People see Erickson's diagram and think that product managers manage the product between all three disciplines, UX, technology, and business. Really, though, he's saying product managers need to balance all three needs and make hard decisions and trade-offs. People hear Horowitz's analogy and think product managers have some kind of special authority. They don't. But, like a CEO, product managers set the goals, define success, help motivate teams, and are responsible for the outcome. Specific responsibilities vary depending on the size of the organization. In larger organizations, for instance, product managers are embedded within teams of specialists. Researchers, analysts, and marketers help gather input, while developers and designers manage the day-to-day execution, draw up designs, test prototypes, and find bugs. These product managers have more help, but they also spend more time aligning these stakeholders behind a specific vision. On the flip side, product managers at smaller organizations spend less time getting everyone to agree, but more time doing the hands-on work that comes with defining a vision and seeing it through. Broadly speaking, though, a good product manager will spend his or her time on a handful of tasks: understanding and representing user needs, monitoring the market and developing competitive analyses, defining a vision for a product, aligning stakeholders around the vision for the product, prioritizing product features and capabilities, creating a shared brain across larger teams to empower independent decision-making. Whether or not a team is adhering to a certain agile practice, and which one, can further muddy the waters when it comes to what a product manager does. For instance, if a team is practicing Scrum, then they also need to have a product owner. While a product manager defines the direction of the product through research, vision setting, alignment, and prioritization, the product owner should work more closely with the development team to execute against the goals that the product manager helps to define. Responsibilities can shift a bit when team makeups and practices shift. For instance, if the team isn't doing Scrum, say, they're doing Kanban or something else, the product manager might end up doing the prioritization for the development team and play a larger role in making sure everyone is on the same page. On the other hand, if the team is doing Scrum, but doesn't have a product manager, then the product owner often ends up taking on some of the product manager's responsibilities. All of this can get really murky really quickly, which is why teams have to be careful to clearly define responsibilities, or they can risk falling into the old ways of building software, where one group writes the requirements and throws it over the fence for another group to build. When this happens, expectations get misaligned, time gets wasted, and teams run the risk of creating products or features that don't satisfy customer needs. Product manager. Just as there isn't only one kind of team, one of the most exciting aspects of the product manager role is that there isn't only one way to do it. During the last 2 decades, the craft has exploded both in popularity and approach. Unlike designers who have successfully segmented themselves into interaction designers, graphic designers, motion designers, and so on, product managers, as a whole, are still wrestling with how to label their different strengths. To complicate matters, people are only beginning to pursue product management as their intended discipline. Where older generations fell into product management from engineering, design, finance, or marketing, younger generations are starting their careers with product management in mind. That said, there are a handful of skills and practices that any good product manager will need to develop. Prioritize ruthlessly. A colleague recently likened product management to being a politician. It's not far off. The product manager and the politician both get an allotted amount of resources. Each role requires the practitioner to make the best use of those resources to achieve a larger goal, knowing that he or she will never be able to satisfy everyone's needs. At any one time, the product manager might have to decide between a feature that might make one big customer happy but upset 100 smaller customers, maintaining a product's status quo, or steering it in a new direction to expand its reach and align with larger business goals, or whether to focus on the bright and shiny or the boring and important. Clearly understanding the costs and benefits of each choice guides the product manager toward the right decision. Product managers need to know the lay of the land better than anyone else. They very rarely start with a clean slate. More than likely, product managers are dropped into something that already has momentum. If they start executing without taking the time to get their bearings, they'll make bad decisions. Good product managers pump the brakes and start by asking questions. If you're just starting a product management job, take the first couple of months to talk to as many customers as you can. Talk to as many internal stakeholders as you can. Understand the business model. Understand the history. Understand how different people are influenced. Understand how decisions are made. Only then can you start making a few decisions of your own. Empower your team to make their own decisions. Product managers can't make every decision. Believe me. I've tried. At the end of the day, I nearly always have unread messages. I'm often double and triple booked. And I could spend all day answering questions and never finish. But touching every decision isn't the product manager's job, at least it shouldn't be. One of the keys to great product management is empowering your team to make their own decisions by creating a shared brain, or a way of making decisions and a set of criteria for escalating them. When someone asks a product manager a question about a decision they could have made themselves, 9 times out of 10 it's because that person doesn't have enough context to make the decision themselves. Great product managers build that context. I know a junior product manager that is nearly universally respected by her team, even though initially many of its members would have traded her in for a more seasoned leader given the choice. How did she change their minds? She took each person on the 30-person team out for coffee and listened to them. Influence comes in many forms. Listening to people and understanding how they're influenced is the first part. Figuring out how to get them on board with your point of view is the second. Becoming a great storyteller, even when you don't have any data to back up your point, will take you a long way. Some people won't be convinced until they see you do the work. Understanding which levers to pull with which person is the key to leading without any direct authority. Making trade-offs will inevitably make people unhappy. The trick is to first make the right trade-offs, and then be able to explain why you made the decision you did. If you're good at explaining your decision, someone can still not like it, but more often than not, they'll respect the way you made it. And even if they don't, great product managers figure out a way to deal with it. Great product managers. For me, the really great product managers are 1 in a million. They're the people who can do all of the above and set incredible product visions. It's the rare breed that's forward-thinking, highly influential, and can walk people through the rationale behind a decision and convince them, even without data. People like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk come to mind. We idolize these people, in part, because it's satisfying to put a face and a name on a big accomplishment. But 99% of the time, great products aren't made by a single great thinker. They're made by teams of good people doing really good work. The job of the product manager is to develop his or her unique way of guiding that work. You've got a team of problem-solving engineers and designers, and they're looking to you to prioritize problems. How can they be confident in your decision-making if you're more comfortable talking about the tech stack than engaging with your users? Product management is the business process of planning, developing, launching, and managing a product or service. It includes the entire life cycle of a product, from ideation to development to go-to-market. Product managers are responsible for ensuring that a product meets the needs of its target market and contributes to the business strategy, while managing a product or products at all stages of the product life cycle. Software product management adapts the fundamentals of product management for digital products. The concept of product management originates from a 1931 memo by Procter & Gamble President Neil H. McElroy. McElroy, requesting additional employees focused on brand management, needed brand men who would take on the role of managing products, packaging, positioning, distribution, and sales performance. The memo defined a brand man's work as: study carefully shipments of his brands by units. Where brand development is heavy, examine carefully the combination of effort that seems to be clicking, and try to apply this same treatment to other territories. Where brand development is light, study the advertising and promotion history of the brand. After uncovering our weakness, develop a plan that can be applied to this local sore spot. Outline this plan in detail to the division manager. Prepare sales helps and all other necessary material for carrying out the plan. Keep whatever records are necessary and make whatever field studies are necessary to determine whether the plan has produced the expected results. Take full responsibility for the general printed word plans for his brands. Take full responsibility for all other advertising expenditures. Experiment with and recommend wrapper revisions. See district manager a number of times a year to discuss with him any possible faults in our promotion plans for that territory. In modern terms, McElroy defined the role as: analyze product distribution, optimize working distribution strategies, diagnose and solve distribution issues, optimize product positioning and product marketing, and collaborate with regional distribution managers. Product managers are responsible for managing a company's product line on a day-to-day basis. As a result, product managers are critical in both driving a company's growth, margins, and revenue. They are responsible for the business case, conceptualizing, planning, product development, product marketing, and delivering products to their target market. Depending on the company size, industry, and history, product management has a variety of functions and roles. Frequently there is an income statement, or profit and loss, responsibility as a key metric for evaluating product manager performance. Product managers analyze information including customer research, competitive intelligence, industry analysis, trends, economic signals, and competitive activity, as well as documenting requirements, setting product strategy, and creating the roadmap. Product managers align across departments within their company including product design and development, marketing, sales, customer support, and legal. Product Life Cycle Management, PLM, is the process of managing the entire life cycle of a product from its inception through the engineering, design and manufacture, as well as the service and disposal of manufactured products. PLM integrates people, data, processes and business systems and provides a product information backbone for companies and their extended product management. Product managers own the product strategy behind a product, physical or digital, specify its functional requirements, and manage feature releases. Product managers coordinate work done by many other functions, like software engineers, data scientists, and product designers, and are ultimately responsible for product outcomes. 1-2. Product managers traditionally resided in the marketing organizations of technology companies, but have since additionally become staples of engineering and even product-specific teams. A product manager considers numerous factors such as intended customer or user of a product, the products offered by the competition, and how well the product fits with the company's business model. The scope of a product manager varies greatly. Some may manage one or more product lines and others, especially in large companies, may manage small components or features of a product. In the financial services industry, banking, insurance etc., product managers manage financial products, for example, credit card portfolios, their profit and loss, and also determine the business development strategy. The term is often confused with other similar roles, such as project manager, may perform all activities related to schedule and resource management. Program manager, sometimes known as technical program manager, TPM, may perform activities related to schedule, resource, and cross-functional execution. Product owner, a popular role in agile development methodology, may perform all activities related to a self-encapsulated feature or feature set plan, development and releases. Product marketing manager, responsible for the outbound marketing activities of the product, not development and cross-functional execution. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe the channel.